What's going on, everybody? This is Mr. Steele, the Vice Principal here at Family Christian Academy, and today I will be showing you um, our new re-enrollment system we have via Sycamore. If you're a current student enrolled at Family Christian Academy in 2023-2024, this is an option that we are now providing to our families to hopefully make the process a little bit more smoother, a little bit more easy, a little bit more accessible. The first tip I'm going to give you guys this evening is that this is best done from a desktop or laptop computer. I'm pretty sure you could technically find a way to do this from the phone, but it will be quite a bit easier just doing it from a computer. So that's going to be my first tip. The screen that you see here that I'm sharing for this video, this is what the login screen is going to look like. This link that I'm at, I'm going to share it both via Remind several times over the next several months. As well, I will post it down below in the description of this video on YouTube for you to be able to click that link. The login that you're going to use to get in is the Sycamore login that you currently have for your family. So I created a fake family called the Samples, and I'm going to use that login here real quick as we hop right in. All right, so as I log in, you're going to notice that Sycamore from this link looks quite a little bit different. We're focusing on just one area that we're going to today, and that's up here in the top left-hand corner. You'll see the sort of the circle with a bunch of little boxes in it, and it'll give you a menu of option, and we are going to admissions. Now, once here, this has a nice little welcome message for you to tell you what the steps are. But this is pretty self-explanatory, relatively simple. And like I said earlier, it's going to save you a bunch of time as it regards filling out the paperwork if this is the option that you would like to choose. So when I click, you'll see your student's name over here on the left, and it'll show you that this is for the upcoming school year 2024-2025. And this is my fake kid, sample student, and enrollment has not started. So when I click that, it shows currently I have him in the sophomore class. He is going to be a junior this upcoming year, and you'll see that reflected here that I've not started, and I'm just going to click Start Application. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that my student's first name and last name are correct, as well as the grade that they should be going into. Now I'm going to hit Save. And then now it's going to bring me, you'll notice here, I have the welcome message here, just once again restating if you run into any problems, call the office, email me, Christopher Steele at christopher.steele@jsm.org if you need any help during this process. But you'll notice it's going to walk you through each and every single one of the steps, and they're actually numbered here, 1 through 10, 10 total steps. So I'm going to hit continue, move on to the first official step. When you do so, you're going to see a bunch of information about your child. And I just want you to take some time. Don't just assume that everything's correct. Go through and make sure that everything that is marked as required is filled out correctly. So I'm looking at first name, middle name is required. His middle name is going to be the same as his last name. So student, sample, date of birth, application, gender, ethnicity, and race. All of those are required. Student email. Your kids already have email accounts from Family Christian Academy if they are in 6th through 12th grade, and that should occupy this contact information there. Student cell phone, you'll notice that this is not, I don't mark it as a requirement. Don't have to put it in, but it's there in case you want that on file in Sycamore for the school to have. The next one is student medical information. I just marked here that the student has no health issues to share with the school. But if your child takes any sort of medications or has any particular allergies, or there's any sort of medical things that we need to be aware of, make note of that here. This does not replace, if your child must have medication administered while at the school, this does not replace any official paperwork filled out with the office. This is just for informational purposes so that we know whether to ask about it. Down here under medical conditions, my fake child here, my fake family, I just used ADD, ADHD as an example, but there is a whole list of things here to click if there are any of these medical conditions that you can check off. And then, as with any of these steps, you technically have the ability to just click down to the next tab. But if you filled anything out here and you click the next tab down instead of hitting continue, it will not save your information. So that's official tip number 2, is make sure as you go through each one of these numbered tabs that you are hitting continue, so that way it saves your progress instead of erasing it and you have to start all over again. The 4th tab here is the attachments. You'll notice that there's the FCA returning student application. We'll come back to that in a second. There's also the 2024-25 enrollment fees and schedule of fees. Please make sure that you take a look at this. And then I'll just click on them so you can see them quickly. Pulls them right up in these windows and shows you all the information as it regards tuition for the upcoming year, as well as the fees. And just, make note, if my child's in 7th grade, then they don't have the ABECA fee. But if my child is in 7th grade and is going to be in the band, then I do have a band fee of $30 here, along with a band rental fee. So just that's for informational purposes. The one we're going to circle back up to, the most important part of this entire process, is the FCA returning student application. When I click on this, you'll notice it's going to bring up here this PDF form with the ability to fill out the different boxes. What I would suggest is when you open this up, that you click this arrow in the top right hand corner, and my screen almost cuts it off, so let me shrink it down a little bit here. Top right hand corner, there's a little down arrow with the line underneath is the download button. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to save it to my desktop as the FCA enrollment packet. So I'm going to hit save. Let me see. Yeah, there it is in the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open it up, not straight from Sycamore to fill it out, but I'm going to open it up from my computer. And I suggest, like you guys saw me do, to save it to your desktop so it's easily accessible as you go through this process. So I have it opened up. So now what I would do is I would just fill out the information. We are in 2024, I almost put 2022. I would just, fill out all the information as you go. And then also, pay attention as you go. It's going to feel like quite a bit at first, but especially families with multiple kids, once you do this once and save as for what you're working on, you can then go back in the file and change the name and then resave it. So it's going to cut down on the back end if you have more than one kid. But you're going to want to make sure and you go through and you fill this out in its entirety. If you fill this out, save it, and re-upload this to us and it's missing any information on it, we're going to have to send it back to you, or you're going to have to come in to the office to fill out the parts that are missing. This green form here, the second page, you only really need this one for each family, but the rest of it needs to be filled out one for each family, all the way down to the end. So I hereby consent that sample student, my signature, sample parent, and 5, 24. Like I said, hypothetically here, I'm not going to sit here and spend a lot of time on this video, literally filling out all these boxes for real. Make sure it's filled out in its entirety. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to hit this download button. It'll ask me if I want to do so with my changes. I'm going to hit yes. And I'm going to rename this. So this is enrollment sample student. And I'm once again saving it to my desktop here. And there it shows up. You can see it pop up here in the top left hand of the screen. So once I've done that, let's say I have another student then later on when I come back to fill out, instead of starting from the blank one, presuming that a lot of the information is the same, the home address, the mother, the father, the last name, you can open up the one that you filled out before and simply change the fields that need to be changed, and that'll save you a little bit of time. That's official tip number 3 for those keeping score at home. So I filled it out. I have my enrollment packet for sample student that I've saved to my desktop. I finished with this attachment section. I've reviewed the enrollment fees and the schedule of fees, and I know what I am signing up for by the time I come in to meet with the financial staff in the elementary office. So now when I go to my next tab, number 5, this is where we request the documentation. So returning student application. This is the returning student application that was downloaded and filled out. Please upload a completed copy for this student only. So I'll go into, click on that, pops up another box where I can upload a file. So let me see if I can drag and drop in here. Yes, so you can either drag or drop directly from your desktop in there, or what you can do is click on the box and it'll open up the little window. And then I'm looking for enrollment sample student. Hitting open. I'm hitting save. Take a second because it's uploading it into Sycamore. So the next box I get to is down into the mailing and billing address. Notice that both of these are required and the billing address is not completed. So if I were to try to get down to the end, it's going to shoot this back to me that I haven't finished it. So go through Hollywood Boulevard, Beverly Hills, California, 90210. It's quite a commute, but I'm guessing they're pretty well off. So let's see, my billing address, Hollywood Boulevard, Beverly Hills, California, 90210. All right. The next part under this family general information is family directory settings. If you leave this check marked, it's going to list you in the school directory on Sycamore. And so you can have yourself listed in directory, but if I click these other things, my mailing address, email address, my cell phone, my home phone, it's not going to show up. If you're like, you know what, most people will be this way. If you don't want any of your information showing up in the family directory, just go ahead and click that box. And you'll notice it won't even let me click the others because, like, look, I'm not throwing anything in there to begin with. So if you don't want any information out there, just check that box. Or if you do this and check all of these, it'll basically just have you listed as a family in the school in Sycamore. Family contacts. What you'll do is all of this, it was already previously put into Sycamore based on the past times your student has registered. So you'll probably see the two parents, mother, father, and then if you'd ever put any other family contacts on paperwork previously, you'll see those names pop up as well. If you want to add somebody else, just for informational purposes, then go ahead and you can add them here. But if you'll notice on the documentation that you filled out earlier and uploaded to us, you already put emergency contacts and all that. So you don't have to edit anything under the family contact section. So we're just going to hit continue and move right along. Next is the family medical information. Notice that there's no red dots. This is all not required. So it's optional. You don't have to fill it out. You can put it in there. I would say this, the more information you put into Sycamore, the better it is for us here at the school. But once again, this is information we already have from the white card that you uploaded to us earlier. So not required, so I'm not going to fill any of this out. Next up, we're going to have review. Oh, actually, no. It says that family medical information is required. So mark out what I just said before: family physician, family dentist, preferred hospital. So let's see. Physician name, Dr. Scholes. Dentist name, Dr. Teeth. Just making up some names here. Preferred hospital. Let's just put Our Lady of the Lake. Continue. All right, so now when I go into the review, you'll see that there are no errors found. So it's actually good that it did that, because by the time you get to tab number 9, if you left out anything in these upper sections here, then it is just going to kick it back here, that you've got to go back and fill something out. Make sure, if you got to go back, you'll notice that when I went back to family medical information, I did this. I didn't just hit on the tab. I hit continue, so that way it saved everything that I filled out. From there, as everything is entered in, I go to submit application, and boom, this message will pop up that says, "Thank you for submitting your application for re-enrollment at Family Christian Academy. You will hear from one of our office staff members soon to set up an appointment to make your registration payment and sign any remaining paperwork." So while this makes the paperwork side of the process easier for you as a family, understand this: your enrollment at FCA is not complete until you have come in to sign the tuition contract and pay the registration fee. The registration fee, the contract, is what holds your child's spot on the roster moving forward. And until that is completed, then this is only a partially done. So what will happen at this point, when you hit submit application, it notifies our staff in the office that, hey, the sample family has submitted an application for enrollment for the 2024-25 school year. At that point, when we're notified, we will reach out to you to set up a time that is convenient for you to be able to come in and pay the registration fees and sign the enrollment contract. And other than that, that is pretty much going to be it. Lastly, before I finish up this video, I want to make sure to mention that if you've watched all this and you're saying, you know what, I don't know, I think I like the old way better, I like coming in, I like grabbing the packet, and I like bringing it in person. If that's you, that's totally fine. This is merely one option that we are giving you, our parents. If you'd still like to grab a packet from the office at any time during school hours, come drop by, and we will be more than happy to hand you a packet. If you have any other further questions, please reach out to me. My email is christopher.steele@jsm.org. You can also reach me by calling either one of the offices, and they will either forward you to my phone. If I'm not available in that moment, leave me a message, and I will call you back as soon as possible. Thank you for hanging in here with me all the way through the end of this video. Hopefully you find this as a amazing new feature, just trying to make your life a little bit easier. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day, and hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.